Hey guys, it's me and Marley. And we're just sitting here. She sits on my knee. And I thought I would show another routine that we do. This is our afternoon, late afternoon routine. You know, our morning routine was the breakfast and all that. So then we come in here and I like to do painting. So I watch painting tutorials on TV with her. She sits on my lap. And during this time, she will torture the living stew out of me. She likes to bite on my arms, and she likes to do a little butt. But she also likes to get good head scratches. And she loves me to just pet her and love her. And we just spend this time together. Sometimes it's 10 minutes. It really depends on what Marley wants to do. If Marley wants to stay here for an hour, we do it for we do it for an hour. And you see, she just tried to snap me. They are like that. That's a macaw thing. Macaws will snap at you to get a reaction. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to hurt. I mean, it will sting a bit. It's to get a reaction. They love getting a reaction. See, she just bit my finger to see if I would squeal. And I will play this game with her sometimes. It's possible she'll do it. No, don't get on my arm. I got to change the way I'm holding my camera. It's possible she'll do it while I'm here. She will take and she'll bite down on my arm. If you're going to get on. She will take and she will bite down on my arm. And it won't be very hard, but, matter of fact, it'll be lightly. But as soon as she does it, as soon as she bites down, she'll turn loose, and the first thing she'll do is go, ow. And then she'll wait a second or two, and she'll bite down again. Let my shirt alone. And she'll go, ow. And I just look at her. And the third time, she'll bite down. It'll be a little harder. And it's usually not hard enough to hurt. But I play that game of going, ow, real quick. And when I do, she'll just throw her head back and cackle. I mean, it just tickles her fancy to get a reaction. They love to get a reaction out of people. She loves the camera. She likes to be in this camera. She likes to see the people on it and just listen to us talk and all that. But this is another thing. See, you want to get reactions now. You want me to put you up? Because I can. That's another thing. If she starts torturing me too bad, just wanting to nip and pick and bite and all that, then girl, you're finna get busted. Let's see, that wasn't hard, but the reaction out of her. And what I find when I do that, people say, don't show a reaction. What I find is, she just doesn't realize how hard she can bite, which, the way I react, is nothing. So she thinks she's really biting hard, but she's not. Girl, why are you trying to beat me up in the camera? She's trying to beat me up in the camera. Look at her. I mean, she really is like having a 3 to 4-year-old constantly. I mean, just constantly. Really think long and hard before you get any type of parrot. But I mean, if you don't have tons of time to spend, you know, do budgies or cockatiels. Don't get me wrong, they need time spent with them. But they're, you know. Alright, so I'm going to let you get on your cage. Well, you know, I'm trying to get her to get on her cage. She just don't want to do it. And then I'll turn the camera so that we can both be seen. Or at least you can be seen. But, yeah, do your homework really good before you get a macaw. Because a lot of your time has to be spent with these birds, or they will be wild as hatters. I mean, you won't be able to touch them without being bitten. And a lot of people have been commenting, because I've only had Marley a little over a month. How did you get her to bond to you so fast? I've had my macaw for a year, and it just won't bond. And you know, other people's like, well, my gosh, I had mine too before she ever would step up and go outside with me, or you know, all kinds of stuff. And here you've had her a month. Well, Marley come from a good home. Her previous parents, they worked a lot. And I mean a very lot. They worked a lot. So Marley was bonding with the bird, the other bird that they had. I can't remember his name, but he's a pretty bird. He's the size of her. I think he's the scarlet macaw. And anyway, she was bonding with him, and he was bonding with her, to where prior to getting Marley, she was bonded with her daddy. He was bonded with her daddy. The scarlet macaw was. And then after they got Marley, he started bonding with her and wouldn't let them have much to do with him. So always be careful when getting two birds. But people say, what did you do? Well, I know nothing about birds. Absolutely nothing. And I'm going to make this story as short as I can. I literally know nothing about them. I had a cockatiel for about between 9 and 10 years. And I hand raised him. I mean, there was nothing to teach him. He knew what I wanted, when I wanted it, how I wanted it. Because he only seen me as his mother. He didn't see himself as a bird. Well, Marley was hand raised as well, but she's had that opportunity to bond with another bird. So she understands that she's not human. So with that being said, you know, I did grow up a lot with horses. When I was a kid, you know, a lot of places my mother, you know, was at, we were able to have horses or what have you. So with that, you know, I just thought, you know, if I was trying to get a horse that did not like people to come to me, did you come back to see us? Did you come back to see us? Yeah. What would I do? What would I do? You know, how did I do things then? And so I just did her like I did the horses. I mean, you know, I had horses that didn't like people, and I would just gather up some feed and get me a book and a blanket and go pile up in the pasture somewhere. And, you know, that horse eventually is going to get curious. And it's going to come to you. You don't have to go to it. And when it comes to you, and you start giving it little apples or little handfuls of grain or whatever, well, you've just started winning its heart over right then. And it'll just keep coming back and keep coming back. And it'll get to the point, if you do not try to force that horse to do anything, it'll get to the point to where it wants your love and your affection. It wants you to be near it. It wants you to work with it and all that. And so then it'll start letting you, trying to pet it and love on it. She wants back on the arm. And so you'll be able to pet it and love on it and so forth. And before you know it, the horse will just, Marley, stop. And she knows she got in trouble. You see her turn that head. So anyway, it gets to the point you can do pretty much anything with them then. They'll break and ride just as simple as can be. But now if you force the animal, that is not the case. And she may be smaller than we are, but trust me, she can take off a finger if she wanted to. You're fixing to get back on that door because you're being mean and bullying. Yeah, get on it. Get on it. If you don't get on it, I'll just put you in the floor. I don't care. She wants to pick. That's how macaws do. They love to get it. She don't like that I'm giving y'all attention. She wants her own attention. Look, you can see the camera. We're not going to step up. Are you telling it hi? Okay. She was fitting to wave at y'all. But anyway, that's how I did Marley. Marley, I started out by coming in here, and I would sit as close to this cage, just like I am now. I'm just right up here. Sorry, girl, I mean to scare you. If you'll see, I can touch the cage. I'm right here at it. And I would just sit. I scared her and she ran away. I would just sit right up at, get out from in there, next to the cage, and I would eat food. And oh boy, she would watch with all kind of curiosity. And I would read books, and I'd just sit here and watch TV. She has cable TV and Netflix and YouTube and all that in her room. And so I'd just sit here. I'd watch my paintings on TV, on YouTube, and my series I was watching on Netflix, and my soapies on TV, regular cable, and that lasted about 2 weeks. Sometime during the 3rd week, like normally with a horse, Marley decided, damn this, I want to know what she's doing and what she's eating. And she come down. I've tried to show y'all this before. I have a little table, just a little fold table, sitting right up against her gate. And she can step off of this gate right onto this. See, I got the gate now. And she come down that gate and stepped over onto that table and started eating out of my plate. I didn't bother her. I didn't shoo her. I only brought foods that I knew she could have, even though some of it I hated and didn't want to eat. But they can eat a lot of people food. So she sat there and she eat. Once she got all up in my plate now, I would just pretend to eat because I'm always fearful they're going to poop in it and I didn't see it and eat it. Ugh, that'd be horrible. As long as she didn't get her feet up in my plate, then I would continue eating with her. When I would read the books, she would start climbing over this table. And if you see, it's so dark in here, you may not be able to see. But here's the table, here's my leg. And she would just step off onto my leg. And she would sit and she would look at that book and she would watch me read. And she was just so fascinated with me reading that book and what that book was and the pages turning, and it was a kid's book. Matter of fact, it was about animals. And she was just amazed. And then she got to where she just, as soon as I come in and sat down, she hopped off that cage onto the table to eat what we were going to eat, and then she got in my lap. Whether I had a book or not, she got in my lap, and that's just where she sat. We might sit here 20 minutes watching a show or not. Now, if she started that bullying, I'm going to snap you, I'm going to see if I can get a reaction. I just took her off my leg and put her back on her cage. And I was like, no, well, I'm done. And I would be done. But she's having her a snack. She's having a snack, baby girl. Sweet baby. And so that was the end of it. She was my best friend from then on. We had bonded. Marley, other than them little light bites she does to get a reaction, trust me, those are playing bites. Those are playing bites. That's her way of saying, haha, I'm going to pick on you. I want to play with you. Hey. Start your mess now. And because I do the and that's a reaction, she'll continue to do it. See? You better quit. And those can get a little nippy. They don't, nothing to break the skin or anything. She's never bitten me so far. Out of aggression to literally injure me. Because when she does, it'll cause stitches probably. I can hear her beak snap when she snaps at other people. But that's how she bonded. She came to me. I didn't go to her. Then I started adding in, you don't get back on your cage, since you can't quit biting and chewing. And then I started adding in small routines. Well, let's see if we can take her out of her comfort zone and put her on a perch in the kitchen. Let her watch me fold clothes, or let her watch me cook the breakfast that we're going to have that morning. And that turned to be a great success. She expects that now. I wake her up at 7:30. At 8:30 we go and cook. I give her plenty of time to get over her because look, you just don't want to mess with a macaw when they first wake up. You think people are horrible? Imagine grappy people waking up with this beak. So anyway, I'll get her up and I take her to the kitchen at somewhere around 8:30, and we have breakfast. And as soon as she's done eating, if she's ready to come back, I bring her back. Or she can get down and come back on her own. Now Marley is still scared to step off the cage onto the floor and come to me. So if I haven't come to her and she wants me, she'll start screaming for me. And so I'll come and get her. But so I lost my whole train of thought. I had to get up and answer the door. And of course she pitched a fit because I didn't take her with me. And anyway, I think we were talking about her routine and breakfast. But anyway, I started taking her breakfast. And normally by 10:30 she has either gotten down on her own and come back to her cage to watch her TV and swing. She loves to swing. Or I bring her back, just whichever. And then sometime around this time, I come in here, and we just come in here. We watch something on this TV together, or we may just sit and play. She loves to play now. I mean, that is one thing she really loves to do. She gets rough with it, and I do have to make her stop sometimes because picture a dog with that beak. She loves to play like a dog. And we'll do that for 30 or 40 minutes. It's nothing big. And then around, say 5:30 or 6, it's porch time. We go outside. And she spends about an hour on the porch. And then she wants back on my hand. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing, girl. You done got backwards. But anyway, we have that routine. And she's done got back on me. And she's like that routine, and she expects that routine. And if I don't do it, she screeches wide open. The whole neighborhood knows that Marley didn't get her way. Look at her, watch it. Garrett, what are you doing? But anyway, guys, that's how I got her to bond to me so easily. I did her like I used to do horses. I don't know if it's the right way or the wrong way, even for horses, but much less birds. And I did her that way, and we ended up already BFFs. Now see, she's down here biting my hand, and she's wanting me to do the ouch game. And, you know, it's okay to an extent, but you can't let her get carried away because she will bite hard to get another reaction. See, she bit, you missed that, but she bit me. But alright, guys. Thanks for watching.